UFOs are real, burgeoning, not going away. This is the coming great deception. I say that more times than I can count, and will continue to do so. We're going to be walking through this interview that Megyn Kelly did recently, and I just want to state up in front, this is fair use. We're going to comment on what we see. We won't run the whole clip, but we're going to be talking about this because they're discussing other life forms, and we need to come to grips with this. It's happening. It's all unraveling very, very quickly. I'll get into that. First, a word from our very trusted sponsor. In a recent clinical trial this year, a woman who took 2.5 grams of collagen peptides daily for 8 weeks saw an average of 25% reduction in eye wrinkle depth, a 9% improvement in skin elasticity, and a 29% look in skin hydration, proving collagen can visibly strengthen and rejuvenate skin from within. That is why I use today's sponsor, BioTrust Ageless Multi-Collagen. Folks, I use it every single day. I put it in my second cup of coffee, which is really cold out of the refrigerator, mix it up really well, and I absolutely love it. BioTrust Ageless Multi-Collagen helps supercharge my skin health using 5 premium types of collagen needed to help reduce wrinkles. I've noticed smoother skin, more elasticity, more hydration, fewer fine lines, and a youthful glow. Plus, it also helps improve my joint health, bone strength, and connective tissues on top of my skin. For a limited time, you can grab a bag of BioTrust Ageless Multi-Collagen for 51% off at www.healthwithla.com. Plus, you'll also receive free VIP live health and fitness coaching for life, a free ebook titled The 14 Foods for Amazing Skin, a 60-day satisfaction guarantee, and free express shipping with your order. Once again, please go www.healthwithla.com, healthwithla.com. I want to tell you something. Since I've been taking Ageless BioTrust Ageless Multi-Collagen, and I've been doing it every day, folks, and I have noticed, I'm not making this up, I have noticed that the creepy skin under my arms and, the backside of my forearm and upper arm, the lines have really decreased. It's working. So, once again, www.healthwithla.com. Thank you. Check it out. So I'm going to skip over this clip a little bit, and this is the Megyn Kelly Show. Let's see what she has to say.
Recently, that is back in the news, is the possibility of other life forms here on Earth. Is it just my feed, or is this coming up in your social media and like your life more these days? Over on Fox News, just did this interview. Okay, yes, we like Brett, and he interviewed like the god of UAPs. That's what they call them now.
What used to be called UFOs.
Yes.
They got an upgrade.
Former Air Force guy. Just listen to this soundbite. Watch.
I don't like to characterize necessarily where they came from. They're definitely some kind of non-human sentience, but it is true, believe it or not, we've recovered the vehicles, and we actually have physical proof, and I was actually partially cleared into some of those activities. It was beyond the oral testimony provided to me. I actually had partial access to the data and actually read the intelligence reports resulting from those programs. And
With your own eyes, or saw it.
Yes.
So I'm going to stop right there and talk about that. That's David Grush. He's the whistleblower. Months ago, he was in front of Congress. Remember, he's under oath along with other people, and they're being grilled by by congressmen and congresswomen. And one of them is Representative Nancy Mace, and I really like her a lot because she goes right to the jugular. She minces no words. And she says, do we have craft? And David Grush says, well, I've already talked about that in another interview, but yes, we do. You can reference that. So then Nancy Mace follows up. And you've heard her talk about this. This is one of the rungs on the ladder of disclosure. And I believe it's rung number 16. Yeah, it's number 15th, the 15th rung on the ladder of disclosure, the whistleblower, David Grush. So it's in the book. And Nancy Mace follows up and she goes, well, do we have the bodies from these recovered craft? And Grush looks right up at her and says, yes, we have biologics. That's how he starts, biologics. And Nancy Mace follows up again. Well, are these biologics human or non-human? And Grush looks right at her and says, non-human biologics. What do you do with that? What do we do with that? How does that affect your Christian worldview? It should. It should really affect it. It makes you sit up. Because if these are extraterrestrials, what are we looking at? Because when they show up, they will say, oh, we created all life on this planet. We genetically manipulated early man. We created all life forms here. We genetically manipulated you. Come on. We started the world's civilizations, the world's religions, right? We've been interacting with human beings for thousands of years. Quote from Derek Gilbert in one of our films. Now at this critical juncture, we ET are back to usher mankind in the golden age. How many times have you heard me say that? So let's continue and see where this goes.
All right. Now that's extraordinary because my understanding is this is not some kook, this is not some crackpot, this is a former Air Force. And he's saying he actually saw the vehicles and some.
Let me stop you right there. So here, not some kook, not some crackpot. You see, the whole UFO phenomena, if you said anything about it before 2017, you were labeled a kook or a crackpot, no matter what you saw. If you were abducted and you were taken, where do you go with this? In our film, which is number 4, in our 10-box DVD set, thank you, Gil Zimmerman and I, work feverishly. We're the only Christian ministry. I keep saying this, I am boasting, but I need to, because you need to understand nobody's got what we have. Nobody did the due diligence that I'm aware of, that Gil Zimmerman and I did. Close Encounters of the First, Second, Third, and Fourth Kind. The abduction phenomena, cattle mutilations, 2 films on Roswell, film on crop circles. Finally, what is the truth? It's all here. It's all right here. We went to Roswell. We found debris. And we show that in the film, in the debris field. We show it. So why did we do this? The Lord put it on our hearts to get out and get this done. And we dropped everything and had 10 films out. And it's there in the box set. Streaming.elliomarzulli.net. You can stream them for $4.99 each. You can buy the 10-box DVD set, whatever you want to do. So before 2017, this is my point, circling back to what is being said here. Oh, if you said anything about UFOs, you're a kook, you're a crackpot. Well, this is the problem with people who have been abducted. Where do they go? Where does Karen Wilkinson go? Where does Al Matthews go? Where does Emil Jarek go? And say, I'm being taken. No one will believe them. This is the most secret, the dirty little secret behind the UFO phenomena. We talk about it here. We talk about it in the films. So far, Congress hasn't gotten near it. So far, David Grush or anybody else that I'm aware of has gotten near it. Let's continue.
Dave Grush is a friend of mine, and he's a source, and I've known him for 3 years. I was texting him in the green room. I said, what can I tell Megan's audience? He said, the problem with the aliens is that we care a lot about them, but they don't care a lot about us. In other words, we're still exploring this universe. The gorilla was only discovered in the middle of the 19th century. It was a mythical being that they finally discovered in the jungle. They found bodies and so on. I'm convinced, and I hate to tell you this, that Dave is telling the truth, and that against great pressure and great mockery, he's trying to describe our actual world to us. It's a world in which we have not made all the discoveries yet. Now, he often compares them to mountain lions. He says, do you believe in mountain lions? Everybody would say yes, right? How many of you have actually seen one?
I have seen one.
You've seen one?
In Montana.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
Okay, let me stop there. So I hear what he's saying, but this is why our film on abductions is so important. Because the 4 people that appear in our film on abductions, they've all had face-to-face close encounters of the fourth kind. They've been taken. They've been taken numerous times. The women have become impregnated. Angela Beckman is one of the other women in the film, bold enough to come forward. And she tells her story. It's very chilling. It's extremely chilling. And she talks about seeing the heartbeat. She's getting an ultrasound and seeing the heartbeat of the baby in her womb, and then she's taken. And I'll just cut to the chase here. So in that, she's awakened at night. She looks out the window. There's a UFO basically in the front yard, and she's thinking, what's this doing here? And voice to skull, we've come for you. And before she can do anything, she's down on the floor, They immobilize her. Now she's floating through the window, through the wall, and she's taken aboard the UFO. When she awakens, she realizes something's happened. She goes to the OBGYN, no fetal tissue, no heartbeat. It's gone. Are you sure you were pregnant? Yeah, I was sure I was pregnant. We saw the heartbeat. They are creating hybrids. And I'm going to close this out. I'm not going to watch the whole thing here, but I'm going to close this out by saying this, that Genesis 3:15 talks about a seed war. It's the gateway to the biblical prophetic narrative. In Daniel 2:43, it says, their seed will mingle with the seed of men, but they will not cleave to them. I got the interpretation, cleave, from Jim Williamson in his book, Beyond Science Fiction. Great read, by the way. And highly recommend it. But Jim talks about the word cleave is the word that we get for marriage. There is no marriage contract. Their seed, who are they? Their seed will mingle with the seed of men. Who are they? They're not men, so who are they? It's not a gorilla. It's not a mountain lion. So who is it? See where I'm going with this? This is unbelievable when you think about it. But the seeds are mingling. And this whole thing takes off. 45, you get Hiroshima and Nagasaki. 47, the Roswell incident. And the reason why at Roswell is because that's where the 509th Bombing Group is stationed. May 14th, 1948, Israel becomes a nation. The whole UFO phenomena that we know takes off. Crop circles begin just popping up everywhere. People are being taken. They're being abducted. Think of Benny and Barney Hill, some of the first abductees that we read about in the 50s. Gee, what a surprise. UFO flaps over Washington, D.C. And on it goes. This is the coming great deception. And I just recently did a show talking about what happens if President Trump, Pope Leo, and maybe some of the other world leaders come together and talk and basically announce to the world that we are not alone and we are being visited by so-called extraterrestrials. How does that change your faith? Does this create the coming great deception? Will millions of so-called Christians fall away? I don't know. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching. Consider becoming a member for less than $10 a month. Join our membership. You get special content. You get 50%, 10% off on everything in the store. But from Black Friday on, members only 50%. Consider checking this book out. Run the Disclosure is an interactive website. runthedisclosure.com. We are up to run number 25. The book only has 17. Think about it. I'm on this, folks. I'm here every day. So don't wait for YouTube to give you a heads up. We're here 7 days a week. With everything that's going on, this is our full-time ministry. Thanks for your friends for watching. Consider becoming a member. Thanks for subscribing, and we'll see you again tomorrow. UFOs are real, burgeoning, not going away.